We are still here at Sydney United. We're going to kind of makeshift a podcast episode today. But how are we going to do this? We're going to do a couple of live interviews now. Boy, we've got some good pearl of subjects for interviews. Jack, come over here. Don't be scared. Come on close.
Just trying to cover the whole screen compared to you.
There we go. We're going to have a chat to some of the gents. And what we're going to do then, well, the pre-recorded stuff we're actually going to upload, and then we're going to be, but that way,
further day.
Yeah, and that because it's already pre-recorded, it works really well.
Apologies for the Ante Trovic fans.
Yeah,
we will get to see it in all its glory very soon.
Yeah, we had some issues with the Wi-Fi, but now that's sort of sorted out. We've got some problems with the camera issues, but we're going to now bring back Miro because we didn't finish completely with Miro. So Miro's going to come over here, and we're all going to squeeze in between all the three of us. Come in right in the middle. Yeah, good to have you on the show, mate. Look, where we sort of started talking about was the Australia Cup, and let's started talking about O'Connor Knights. That's where we finished. And mate, your thoughts on the O'Connor Knights and like just the sense of occasion and how they can, I guess, not just the club, but the Canberra Croatian community and the wider New South Wales community really enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. Like what we were saying off air before, it's. You hope that the community down there gets to the game. It's going to be at, I believe, GIO Stadium. So it'll be a big night, and like what we had here, when the community's behind you, the boys go another level. So hoping the same happens down there. And look, I think I'm definitely going to probably travel down for the game. So I hope other people do it as well from Sydney and make it a night. We need to support our own.
Yeah. So, now, turning our attention to overseas matters and our Vatreni over in Germany, the Euro 2024. From a coach's perspective, I guess Zlatko Dalic now has got a real predicament, hasn't he? He's got some aging superstars that maybe didn't perform. The World Cup in 2 years' time in North America, what does he do? Does he rebuild? Does he stay with what he knows? Or does he start to – what does he do?
If I had the exact answer, I don't think I'll be standing here. I'll be there. No, look, it's
having all these technological issues.
Look, everyone's got their own opinion, and I think he does have to freshen it up. But you saw that some of the younger players, coming into the squad now, like in the Euros. Obviously it wasn't good that we got knocked out, but I think definitely he's going to sit down with his staff and whatnot, and have a look at how they're going to strengthen it and how they're going to improve. But as we know, mate, we're a country that just produces. And again, it doesn't happen overnight. It'll take time. And I'm sure, as we all are, that he'll do the job. He'll find the solutions along with his staff, and they'll be better for it in the World Cup.
Yeah. The difficult part, Miro, I think, is number one, Luka Modric, should he retire from international football? And number two is dealing with all the golden generation, maybe on a case-by-case basis, because the sooner the regeneration happens, the better it is for the Croatian national team.
Yeah, like in regards to Luka, like it's people have said for years now that his time is up and whatnot, but he's gone out. He's gone out and proven a lot of people wrong, he's just re-signed again at Real Madrid,
for 12 months.
And he's the one that knows his body best and what he can do. And if he wants to keep going and they can manage him,
totally up to him. I get it. But do you feel as though it's time yet, or do you think he's still got more in him to offer the national side?
I think he's got a lot to offer. You look at the staff that Zlatko's got as well, like boys that have just retired recently and are still a part of the setup.
Yeah,
whether it's behind the scenes with the staff or, still on the pitch, that's something that, the decisions they will make that he knows best, but definitely needs to stay involved.
So I think Real Madrid uses him in a different way to Zlatko Dalic, where he comes more as an impact player and may come in from deep to hold the ball up and offer his quality that way. Whereas in Croatia, he was played until, it was time to bring the subs on, and it's in a different vein, I believe, anyway.
Yeah, like tournament football and your league is two different things, in the league, he gets managed through the season. He comes on, whether it's to close the game or try and make an impact to change a game somehow. That's what he was doing. But again, like tournament football, it's a different story. You gotta. It's not 8 months, 6 months, whatever it is. You've got to get results.
A month, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Well, thank you so much for organising this today, and also being patient with all of our little technological glitches and this and that. But look, just getting your insight and hearing, what your thoughts are about, the world of football as well. It's and to meet you in person as well. We've spoken over this online studio so many times, but speak to you face to face, it's been fantastic. So really appreciate it. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you,
mate.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, then we're going to now continue with this very, very. We're getting nice
intimate.
and close, and very, very intimate.
Touchy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're going to now bring on someone who's a returnee to Australia. We could say he's played in Croatia in the third tier competition there for several years. He's back here at Sydney United. It's an absolute pleasure to chat to Oliver Kalac, who is now the first team keeper at Sydney United, and Oliver's going to come into to our little studio. Good evening, Oliver. How are you? Welcome.
I'm all right, you?
G'day all. Welcome, mate.
Thank you.
Now, mate, the last time we had a Kalac on the show, this was in year one. And it was your old man, and he was coaching at the time in Croatia. And one of my favourite comments is when he said, "In Croatia, they're all Mourinhos. They all know Ali. Svi znaju a pojma nemaju." Was that your experience of football in Croatia?
I think that could be well said. Look, you can get you get a mixed bag of lollies over there. You can get great coaches. You can get, like you said, people who nemaju pojma. But look, over there, I had a good experience.
Let's talk about that. Tell us about your experiences over there.
Well, when I first got over there, I went to Tereshevka in the 4th league, and there I had 4 coaches in the space of 4 months. So that's probably not the best start to your overseas career.
Yeah.
So that was a bit all over the place, but I got better at the end. I had Nisho Kristišević, who, former
Pločanin from down
former national team coach.
So
that was a bit better down there. He had a bit more of a clue, but each to their own.
Is that how you ended up eventually playing at Jadran Ploče? Because Nisho Kristišević coaches down there, doesn't he?
Yeah. So it just sort of happened that they needed a goalkeeper at the time. It was the week of the season. They were interested. They called me down. Had a 2-day trial. They liked me and stayed from there. And that was that. Yeah.
Awesome. And overall, how would you rate the third tier? Let's say the third tier, playing in the third tier in Croatia. How would you rate it to over here? Is it similar to NPL New South Wales or NPL 2 maybe, or is it actually higher than that?
I think the NPL 1 teams in Australia would beat all the third league teams in Croatia. I think that should beat all of them.
Yeah.
Maybe that have a good running with the top 2-3 teams that are interested in getting promoted to the second league, but majority of the teams in that third league are sort of just happy to stick around and play the young players.
Yeah. What about Sydney United, your squad that you play with now? Where would they fit in the Croatian sort of pyramid?
I think we'd be top of the table in the third league.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'd have a good crack at the second league teams as well.
Yeah.
I think the NPL here is underrated, and over there they probably don't respect it as much.
Yeah, that's what I
they think that NPL here is just just easy park soccer, but you got good players here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you started your career as a goalkeeper.
Yep.
Your father would said no other way.
Yeah, got forced into it.
Yeah. Funny that your father's not a forceful guy. Excuse me. So your youth football, you went through the youth system at Western Sydney Wanderers.
Yep.
And you went through the youth academy there, and you've ended up now via overseas here at Sydney United. So this is your first season as starting goalkeeper for first grade. How have you found the experience?
Well, I think the first few weeks were a bit rusty, Didn't play many games while I was over there. So it was good to just, get a few games and get the rust out of my boots. And I think after the first couple of rounds that I started picking up form, and in the recent times, I think we've been doing good as a team as well, good results.
Yeah, and, I remember it was a bit of a scratchy start to the season, and we mentioned it before with Miro, like that game at Belmore against Sydney Olympic, that 6-0 loss. I'm sure everyone felt really bad. But the way you clawed yourself out of that, a lot of credit's got to go to your dad, the way he's moulded the squad together. And now in 5th spot, still in touching distance for the finals, the progression with a young squad, he must be happy too. And and seeing your development yourself as well.
Yeah, look, I think that we've got a good young team this year. We're excited to watch. We, play attacking football, and I think when we get to those finals, that we can cause some damage.
Ollie, what's your advice for young, would-be soccer players from straight Croatian soccer players wanting to go overseas to Croatia? What would be your words of advice to do well over there?
Well, look, it's a great country to live in. It was a great experience for me for the 2-3 years that I was over there. And look, you got to want to. You don't have to get forced over there. You got to want to live there. I know some people can find it hard being away from family and all that, but if you really want to enjoy the lifestyle and heading down to the coast in the summer, for me that's the best part about it. So you just got to really want it at the end of the day.
Fantastic. Are you hoping to go back there one day, or to Europe in general?
Maybe one day.
We'll
see what
You're
happens.
happy at the moment?
I'm happy at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Mate, thank you very much
you.
for joining us on the show. I know you want to get
thanks for
home
coming
and
on.
just take it easy, but thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
And last but not least, someone that we've already had earlier this year, Jack.
It's all right, mate. Either or.
Yeah, either or. Someone that we had very, very briefly, and it's an absolute pleasure to have him on. And it's a Sydney United captain, and Adrian Vlastelica. Adrian, good evening and welcome.
Adrian, welcome.
Welcome
mate.
to the OZCRO Soccer Show
Thank
in
you for
person.
coming. Yeah.
The last time I think it was Adam Grabovac and AG and Adam doing a bit of an interview with you. Where was that? In the park somewhere, was it?
Yeah, at Renowned Park in Oakley.
Yeah.
At Adam's game. So
Yeah.
Playing for the Warriors. Now, I'm sure Adam's tuning in. Adrian, any word for ads?
Hope you're enjoying your holiday, ads. I'd love to be over there as well. A little bit jealous, but it's
Oh.
nice and cold here. But we'll see you when you get back.
The Grabovacs were in Vela Luka, apparently paying homage to the great Oliver Dragojevic's graveside, and I'm sure they're having a great time. So cheerio to the Grabovacs and to everyone else who's tuning in from Croatia or from wherever you are tuning in. But Adam, how have you been? How have you seen your season so far? I called you Adam. Adrian. That's right.
The A's.
The A's, yeah.
Season's been good. Like Ollie said, it's a big turnover in the squad. A lot of younger boys this year. Obviously, still some experience heads around. I feel old this year, but I'm not that old. But yeah,
You and Tom Leach, yeah?
Yeah, Tom Leach and tell me. So
Yeah.
I feel top 3 now, so it's not great. But yeah, season's been good. Started a bit shaky, you can say, but I think that's just the new boys gelling. It's
And new coach too.
new coach, new players. Takes time anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Let alone at this level, we're going to get 3 nights a week together. But yeah, it's come together. We're on a good run, and top 6 was the aim before the year, and we're sitting 5th and in touching distance of all the teams there. So it's good.
Big test coming up this weekend at the Illingdon Sports Centre against the runaway leaders, Rockdale Illingdon, and you really know where your game's at after that, won't you?
100%. We had a good battle with them here earlier in the year. We went down to, I think, a 95th minute goal, 2-1. But I think it'll be another good test, and we love going there and love beating them there. So
Are they the big rivals now? The new big rivals, are they?
Yeah, everyone calls it a rivalry, but they haven't really won anything yet. So they talk it up a bit.
The 10-round sprint in 2020, yeah?
Oh, well, they didn't set them with the trophy. We beat them in the grand final there too.
Oh.
But they're doing well this year. Can't discredit them for that.
Yeah.
They're top of the league for a reason. But they are the new rivalry after the last couple of years. But it's they've come to the forefront this year. But that's good on them. That they've deserved that. Obviously, they've worked harder to be there, but we'll aim to knock them off when it counts.
Awesome, sounds good. Now, mate, what about yourself? Have you? You've dabbled a little bit in the A-League, and is that something you want to look at trying to get back into, or is maybe an overseas trip? Listening to Oliver Cullert's now talking about going overseas, and has that sort of got you all excited and thought, leave the family nest?
I had my opportunity when I was younger as well. Played over there for a bit. Obviously had a great experience with Sydney FC as an injury replacement after the cup run. Probably my age now is difficult to do that anymore.
You're not thinking about Perth. Apparently, there's a bit of a Sydney Croatian contingency, an ever-growing one now. I can't believe Perth Glory. They were the team that we used to hate so much, and
now they're all going there. No, I think I'm happy where I am here at Sydney, Croatia. It's a privilege to play here every week. So,
and possibly the second division as well.
Yeah, so that might be an opportunity in itself. We'll see if that gets off the ground, because you don't hear anything for a while. It seems all quiet again at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, March next year was a proposed date, so we haven't heard much since.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but no, I'm really happy here, and
Assuming it does get off the ground, from a player's perspective, you know, you're the captain of Sydney United, one of the foundation clubs of this national second division. How do you see it panning out? Do you see it like, you know, like the good old NSL days, that sort of type of rivalry, or do you actually kind of see it like it might be a struggle in the first few years?
It's a bit of an interesting one. Like obviously, you get the odd cup game here. In the last couple of years, the bigger ones, you know, you get a good crowd and it's awesome to play in front of. The challenge will be to everyone to support every week, I guess.
Yeah.
To have a crowd here and support, because obviously it's going to be more professional. It's going to be.
Will that mean you'll have to leave the family business and devote yourself full time to
Your dad will never let that happen.
No, I can't let that happen. But no, it's just I'd love to see it, our club go as high as it can in the Australian football pyramid and hopefully get back to the top where it was in its glory days.
Absolutely.
But obviously it's going to take time. And, you know, some clubs in that competition would be big games and rivalries, but then you look on the other end and you think of let's say an Avondale or they don't have a large supporter base. So
have a supporter base.
So coming here and playing Avondale, or, you know, it'd just be interesting to see what it generates.
Ex-Sydney United goalkeeper Thomas Manos went down to Melbourne Knights, played there for 2 years, had all this, and then he went to Avondale. Why? Why would you do that? I don't know. But anyway, each to their own.
So,
Adrian, your own game itself, playing at centre back, do you feel as though you've evolved as a player over the last couple of years? You feel as though you're still learning your craft?
100%. I think every year you learn something new about yourself and new teammates. You maybe change your game, and that you add something to your arsenal. At Sydney, I learned a bit as well, of course, that step up. But yeah, I think just decision making, and, you know, with age, you know, you get smarter.
To make the right decisions,
and
not so good decisions.
Yeah, so don't rush out as much and little things like that. Just sort of preserve the body a little bit more, because it's a bit harder on a Monday morning
and
now.
keeping your feet too.
Yeah, always.
Well, you are one of the older statesmen now, so you do have to really look after the body. And I can speak from personal experience. It takes a lot longer to recover these days, that's for sure. Isn't that right, Jack?
It does, mate.
Especially in winter.
Especially in winter, Actually, there's a national second division. Is that going to be played in winter or in summer?
Well, it was a March proposed start.
That's right. So winter.
Over the winter.
Mate, we wish you all the very, very best.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so
guys.
much for coming on the show. Really
Anytime.
appreciate it. And you guys can go home now and
shower up.
Shower up and put the game on Sunday.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you,
That was
mate.
Adrian Vlastelisa, the captain of Sydney United. And Jack, I guess that brings us to the end of this very special show. We've had to
been
do
special
the best
in more
that we
ways
can.
than one, hasn't it?
And thank you to everyone out there who's been very patient tonight. And for those of you who are not watching it live, who are going to be watching it later on replay, well, then you are certainly not aware of all the problems we had, but we got through somehow in true Croatian fighting fashion.
Tonchi, I hope you enjoy the remaining stay in the Harbour City.
Will
with Glenn Trefuro's project tomorrow, especially with your son involved, is learning plenty of
absolutely. And folks,
along the way.
There will be like interviews with Ivan Slunski, father of Noah, and also with Ante Čović as well. That will be uploaded in this 24 hours, so do enjoy those interviews as well.
Well, that's come to the end of my stint. Tonchi, thanks very much for having me. Really appreciate it. I know I've been
get you back on again,
invisible man a couple of times, but now I'm visible, and there's plenty of me.
Next week, folks, we will have special guest co-host for the next 2 weeks until Ante comes back, Josip Lončarić from Melbourne, who is the Brunswick Juventus women's NPL head coach. He's also involved with the Luštica Football Academy. That's his brother-in-law as well, and a man who is very, very well known in the Australian Croatian community down in Melbourne. He will be joining us over the next two weeks. So, folks, until then, enjoy and thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.